Welcome to the Not So Intellectual podcast. On the show today, we have an awesome guest by the name of Karen Salas. She is an FX slash beauty makeup artist. She's based out of here in Los Angeles, and we want to give her a round of applause and a welcome. Thank you for being on the podcast.
Hi, thank you so much for having me.
Of course, of course. How you been?
Oh, good so far. Just trying to stay out of the heat. It's kind of getting pretty hot outside at the moment.
Dude, it's starting to finally fucking warm up. No,
Yeah.
I love the cold, honestly. But yeah, it was getting to the point where I was like, okay, so is it gonna be summer? And then finally, now it's starting to come through.
Yeah, definitely. Okay, so we can curse, right?
Yes, absolutely. We can smoke as well. There you go.
Jesus, okay. I don't smoke.
I forgot. That's true.
Yeah, you already know this about me, but yeah, I don't smoke. But I do have a potty mouth, so I kind of have to censor myself at times.
Totally understand. I think I see what I'm doing wrong. Let me just do that. And all right. I think I fixed the problem here. People on stream weren't able to hear you, but I think we're good now.
Okay.
Perfect. Yeah, I can hear you too. All right.
Perfect. And you're
Awesome.
fine on my end too.
Yeah, I can hear you. Definitely I can hear you.
Okay, perfect.
So yeah, horror, man. We have would it be an obsession? No, an appreciation. That's better. An appreciation for horror and all things spooky. Have you gotten a
Oh,
chance to see anything that came out recently? What was the last thing you guys saw?
ooh, horror wise, I believe it
Yeah.
was Late Night with the Devil.
Dude. Okay, so I love the fucking movie. I absolutely love the movie. I
Mhm.
love the feel of it, the special effects, especially when he started to like kind of dig into his like neck and you saw like
Yeah.
the worms and stuff. That was really cool. What stood out for you in the movie?
Ooh, wow. To be honest, I mean, for that movie specifically, the makeup kind of came secondary to mind. I was mostly paying attention to the setting, the cinematography, the color theory. It was wow, the haziness of the camera work.
Dude,
Very 70s, of course, because it was the 70s. Um, and I just admired all of that right from the beginning. There was no slow points, which of course we are very picky about, you and I for sure.
yeah, dude.
um,
I have to say it's I'm either a kid of the time or something, but like I need something that has a good story, good visuals for me to really like sit in. Because if it's lacking on one or the other, dude, I'm just like, okay, what's next? Okay,
yeah,
well, this was a bore.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
So for me personally, I when it comes to horror, I'm very, very particular and very picky. So if I'm throwing it on, it has to reel me in the first 10 to 15 minutes. If it doesn't, and it's kind of stringing me along a little bit,
yeah,
and I try to kind of get the storyline because usually nowadays you can kind of predict because everything is pretty much very predictable, especially when it comes to horror. It's very like
unfortunately true.
unfortunately very true. Very if it's like a group of teenagers, um the popular ones die one by one.
Yeah,
Maybe a nerd or excuse me, maybe a an outcast. I won't say nerd, that's not right.
you can say nerd, it's fine.
um
And it's not a negative connotation at all. Proud to
okay,
be a nerd.
good.
Absolutely.
Okay. Well, maybe an outcast will kind of, die here and there that you wouldn't want to die. And then slowly, like the lone wolf, the very underdog is the one that excels and survives whatever monster or murderer it was. But yeah, it's very predictable, which kind of sucks nowadays. I mean, for sure, back in the day, Um, everything was very much more suspenseful, you know? Like think about Texas Chainsaw or maybe an earlier movie like uh Texas Chainsaw, and maybe something like See No Evil. I know
See No Evil's good.
See No Evil was
Mm-hmm.
pretty good. I was very surprised. I don't think a lot of people even remember that movie or even care to.
So the first
Um,
time I heard about See No Evil, I saw the WWE version, which they did a remake with Kane as the main as being the actor, the main actor villain. He
oh
did a
wow.
great job. It was very like violent, pretty good like visual effects. I want to say check it out. Um yeah, dude, that was it was cool. And then I heard it was a remake. I was like, "Oh shit, what do you mean?" I still haven't seen the original, but I heard like it's really good.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I enjoyed it. I'm okay. Another thing about me is I'm very notorious for not for liking, I guess, bad rated movies. But for
Hell yeah.
me, you already know this about me. But for me, it's I pay attention to other aspects of a movie. I mean, of course, Rotten Tomatoes or IMDb give all these other my favorite movies. They give it like what 30%, 40%, or less than 50. If it's less than 50 when it comes to new movies, I will be very cautious
Hmm.
and or I wouldn't even bother, you know?
You
So
see, it's weird because like in the last few years, there's been movies that come out and pe the critics like shit on it, and it becomes like more of a cult classic with the audience. And then you
mhm,
can see it in the ratings too, where it's like critics are saying like, "Oh, this is trash," while the fucking people are like, "No, this is great." So it's kind of hard to like really lean in on or really trust those sites sometimes. But I definitely always go with them too. I always check them. I always see what people are saying online, and
yeah.
I make my evaluation there. There was one
Yeah.
movie recently that I saw. Oh, The Watchers. Um, I won't give away
Mhm.
too much because we're gonna be doing an episode in the future in the horror movie fan club about the movie. But
Right.
I'll just say this: it wasn't going where I thought it was going, and I
Uh-huh.
like that. I like that it kind of like took me in a different direction because I was thinking it was column A and then they me over to column B and I was like, okay, this is going to be a different story. So it's that type of like movie where it's like, oh, okay, this is not exactly where I thought it was going to be.
Right.
Um, is it a one and done? Absolutely. I don't see myself going to go watch it again, like The Exorcist or like a classic like that, and not a classic.
Uh-huh.
Have you seen what was it? In a Violent Nature.
I have not seen it yet.
Okay.
Um, so another thing I would like to point out,
Oh yeah.
is I am a special effects makeup artist, of course. I specialize in character work, and or any type of gags, like squibs, or little bullet was like very tiny lacerations type of things. But I it's very easy to create a blood because you're seeing and you have it in your mind that it's that you're making it, that it's fake, it's not real. But if I see real blood, I
Oh
actually
yeah,
get
that's right.
dizzy and I faint. Yeah, very weird. I mean, go figure with my profession, right?
That's awesome. That's really cool. So,
Uh,
have you been in a situation where it's like everyone's covered in prosthetic blood and you're just chill and you're like, okay, this is another day at the office. Have you been in
oh
that
yeah.
situation already? Oh, that's
Oh
cool.
yeah, definitely. Yes, I mean, creating fresh zombies type of thing, making like uh throat slits and all that stuff. I mean, it's incredibly, incredibly fun to make all of those um type of effects because I mean, yeah, you also have to sort of um simulate that it's real as well. So you have
Yeah.
to look at your references. That's what we use a lot. We use a lot of references. So I have to use actual medical photos
Holy shit.
where it's a yes, it's a specific website. I forgot already what the website was, but I remember when I was back in school when I was just learning a little bit about it. I would have to learn about the human anatomy,
Hmm.
where uh, all the really big main veins and arteries, how it would look if someone actually is in the act of like slicing,
Oh shit.
and how the blood would like actually squirt out. Um, yeah, those videos were they were something. So I wasn't that sensitive back then, but for some
Okay.
reason, the older I get a lot more sensitive.
That is
So
fucking crazy.
yeah,
So
so now I
you
can't see
had to
that.
see these medical pictures for
Mhm.
references so you can get the actual detail right.
Yes.
And you're like, all right, cool, I can do this, I can do this. But like, are you able to do it now? Are you able to like, let's say if you wanted to work on a project that looked, let's say a person's neck got slit, like you were saying, are you able to like do the same thing and do what you did back then now? Or will you
Um,
have difficulty?
I honestly I would have difficulty. I will have difficulty looking at medical photos. That's honestly that's the best way to um reenact or simulate real looking wounds.
Yeah,
Um you can't just imagine in your mind because this is what I did when I was younger. So bullet wounds, when you think of a bullet wound, you kind of think of it as a big gaping like type of hole in your skin, right?
right.
But actually no, but you also have to take into consideration the bullets, the width, the diameter, the speed of it. So all of that you have to take into mind and say, okay, well, how far away was this person standing from the killer?
Yeah,
Or were they really close? Was it a headshot like this? So um surprisingly, bullet wounds are very actually they're very tiny. So and they're very clean. It's like a very like the
cylinder.
how to say it. Yeah, I was gonna say cylinder, but I don't know if it was right. But it's very clean. And the
Interesting.
exit wounds, the same thing. I mean, and if you're using buckshots or something like that, then that's a little completely different because it creates more of a boom, and more the gunpowder disperses. So yeah, it's very interesting. You have to do a lot of research, surprisingly, you
That is
know.
fucking cool. Yeah, that
Mm-hmm.
makes a lot of sense because like yeah, you can't just like make a hole. It's not a cartoon. It's real life. So you have to think about it more of a practical way. That's
Yeah.
pretty crazy. That's pretty cool. Um,
Yeah.
how have you been? What was the question I'm trying to ask? How many movies have you done, I should say, or projects like that?
Well, I've only done short films,
Cool.
student films mostly. Unfortunately, I'm not union just yet, so hopefully one day. But once I kind of cross that road, then I will hopefully have the pleasure of doing, big type of movies, which was my goal. But it's pretty hard to kind of like wiggle your way in there in that industry because there's a lot of makeup artists out there, and
I get it.
especially yeah, we're living here basically in Hollywood. So um so there's a lot of makeup artists always coming in and out, and they have the same dream. And kind of matters who you talk to and who you know. I luckily do have quite the acquaintances from my mentors that I had when I was back in school, which was amazing. Um, but I just haven't had necessarily, I guess, the courage
Hmm.
to go up to these big names in the industry, and ask them if I can, work with them or if they could bring me on a set or something like that. I have not had the pleasure of doing that just yet. It's very nerve-wracking when you're standing and talking to people that you've admired for a
I
very
get
long
it.
time.
No,
Yes.
yeah, dude, I get it. Especially if it's something again you're passionate about, it's something that you've seen these people reach a level and you want to, I guess, not necessarily imitate it, but you want to be able to be like, I'm good enough to bring this to the table, and I want you to, I guess, I don't like saying that word because it's so like to say, but I want a validation. Give me some type of
No, it is
validation
a
to like,
validation.
yeah, I want some validation to like tell me that I'm good enough. I want
Yeah.
a mentor, someone who's in the industry who knows what they're fuck they're doing, to tell me
Hmm.
you're on the right track, keep going, or even better, hey, you're doing great. I think you do be great in my team. So I understand that like want to get to that point, but
Yeah.
also the fear of your own like self holding you back. Because it is that like fear of rejection, fear
It's
of
our own
not
insecurity.
being, yes, dude. I get it, man. I fucking get it.
Yeah, which
We
is
are our
completely
own worst
normal.
enemy. Absolutely.
Yes. Yeah. It's completely normal. I mean, uh, I'll say this again, back when I was in school, I tried to, I guess, necessarily be the teacher's pet in a way. Before I even signed into school, I would do my own research, and I would look up a bunch of things, how to do whatever it was I was trying to do. And I would talk to my instructors and tell them like, oh, is this how you do it? This is how you do it. They would answer back, yes. Oh, like, how are you already in the industry? Have you done things? No. No, I'm not, but I've done my own research, and they would be, in a sense, impressed, and that made me feel good. I'm like, okay, good. I want them to know that I'm serious.
Yeah.
And actually, the mentors that I did have, one was a guy, George Schminke. Um, he was actually on Face Off, I think season 6. Great, great person. God, he's so talented. I admired how he made prosthetics, and I tried to get close to him and try to pick his brain a little bit, which I did, but unfortunately, life happens, and kind of haven't or lost contact with him. But he was a great, great instructor, and with him, I would tell him to his face, um, tell me if I'm doing something wrong. Don't sugarcoat things. If this looks bad, tell me to fix it. Tell me to take it off, or like, tell me the direction I should go. And he would do it. It was more tough love. I would rather have tough love
Hmm.
than someone who already knows what they're talking about to say that looks okay, it'll pass. I don't want it to pass. I
Mm-mm.
want it to be good enough to be in front of a camera, because HD cameras
Oh
are
yeah.
no, they can capture every single little thing, every single little wrinkle to the tiniest of eyelashes. It's
No,
insane.
4K is getting ridiculous, dude. 8K is
Hmm.
coming around the corner. So I can imagine, dude, you have to be flawless in your technique and your executions and
Yeah.
what you're doing, the makeup. That's pretty crazy, man.
Yeah, so you always have to look at the monitor. The monitor is not, it's your worst enemy, but it's also your best friend, because it you see everything, you
It's the
know?
final judge. Yeah.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, but I, I don't mind saying this, but my experiences with little short films and a couple of commercials here and there, they were they were fun. They're educational, you know. It gives you a tiny little slice of how being on a movie set would be. Um, you know, everything is very fast paced. Everything is all about money. You know, everyone's trying to
Yeah.
save money on set. And if the director says we need this person on set in the next 5 minutes, they really mean 3 minutes.
Fuck.
Or yeah, it's everything is very fast paced. Everything, or they all want everything so quick, you know?
That's pretty wild. Let
Yeah.
me ask you something as a creative and how you come up with your ideas. Um, and, and at that, like taking feedback. How are you at taking feedback? Like I get very like it really depends for me because
Mhm.
I try not to be defensive on what I'm doing, but I'm also like have pride in what I'm doing. Like I this
Mhm.
is something I've been trying to do and or something I've been working on, whatever it may be. And if someone comes at me and it's like, yeah, you know, it could be better if you do this and this and that, and I'm like, what do you mean? It's fucking good now. Like how are you at taking feedback?
I used to not like it.
Nice.
I genuinely did not like it because I try to have the attitude of like, you know, I just need a little bit of help. Like I know what I'm doing. And I shouldn't have that.
Mm-hmm.
So I changed my mindset super damn quick. Right after I finished uh the little schooling that I did. Um, so I changed my mindset and you know, again, that's when I started asking my mentors like a lot of questions, a lot more, still having in contact with them, emailing them every time I had a little job here and there. But now I'm a lot better. I humility changes you.
Absolutely.
Changes you. Yes. So again, I would rather have someone tell me that something doesn't look good
Mm-hmm.
and just change this and this and this, even if it's something so tiny. You know, and if they know what they're talking about, then you know, just take the criticism. It's the best to take the criticism
Mm-hmm.
because it just makes you grow more as an
Yeah.
artist. Yeah.
I no, I agree with you on that one. You have to try to step aside, like kind of really try to listen to what the person's trying to tell you. Because at the end of
Hmm.
the day, they're trying to help you. They're trying to help you see something that you're not seeing. I totally agree with you on that one.
Yeah.
Um, as far as like creative, trying to make something, trying to bring up ideas, like what's your process?
My process.
Do you just let it come to you, or do you like I'm weird, man. Like sometimes ideas just come to me and like I try to remember them. I'm lazy. I don't like writing shit down. I'm really glad that we live in the age of the technological age that we live in because like this is a
Yeah.
godsend. Like I
Yeah.
note down things when I do. But even then, like I kind of let things kind of fly by. Um, I see this trait in a lot of people who are creative. Do you feel like I'm trying not to have this sound horrible, but are you Weather? Like, are you that type of person where it's like, oh, I'm gonna let it come when it comes to like creating things, or are you more of like a strict person when it comes to creating things? Like, once you have something, you have to put it down. Because I've met those type of two people.
I think I'm a blend of both.
Interesting.
But if I if I have a job to do and I'm thinking of ways on how to do it, it's always better to either draw it or write it down. That's just me. Because I'm not the best in remembering. Um, or I have something pictured in my mind But if I don't write it down and I'm doing it on a face or something and it doesn't come out how I had it in my mind, then that's my fault
Yeah.
because I didn't write it down. So it's more so like an anchor, I suppose. So your notes are kind of like your anchor, kind of like crap. I forgot what to do. Let me look back at my notes, and then you read it like, oh, duh, this is what I was supposed to do. That's how I normally play it out.
Mm.
Um, I also look at references. I mean, like I said earlier, I look at a lot of references. I look at other people's work. I don't see anything wrong with taking inspiration from others. It's kind of like a tattoo, you know.
Mm.
Um, if you're not copying it, it's inspiration. It's that's a much different um thing to go about it. If you're copying something and you're trying to do it step by step on how they were doing it, then yeah, that's kind of questionable.
Yeah.
Um, and because you're basically kind of stealing other people's artwork.
Yeah.
Like I said, with a tattoo. But um, I just learned that it's always best to have your references, and if you liked uh someone's work that they did something that you're trying to do,
Hmm.
um it's not bad to pick apart, oh, I like this nose type of thing. Oh, I like how
Hmm.
this person did the nose. I like how they did the mouth. Or the products that they use. Oh, I like that the black goop that this alien has that's coming down. Oh, it's at the store. Let me go get it. That's how I see it. So
Hmm.
it's I don't see it as copying someone's hard work. It's more so I'm inspired by this artist and I really want to kind of recreate what they did,
What they were able to do, right?
what they were able to do. Yes, correct. But also if it does kind of look like that person's um however whatever
Style.
yeah, that person's style, it's always best to just say I got inspiration by this. If someone is asking you, um how did you do this, or what came in mind, you shouldn't say, oh, I did it myself. Oh, I
Mm.
actually, made it up in my mind, because you didn't, you know?
Mm-mm.
And that's what I try to kind of live up to. So if someone's asking me, excuse me,
Mhm.
that was a hiccup. If someone is asking me, oh, how did you do this? I will definitely tell them like, oh, I got inspiration from this person, or this movie inspired me, this makeup artist inspired. It's nothing to be embarrassed about. I'm not embarrassed about it at all whatsoever.
No, you shouldn't be, especially if your skill level was able to match their skill level, that means something. That should you shouldn't feel like that's this weird thing where it's like, oh, like you shouldn't draw inspiration. Like you're not ChatGPT. You're not copying someone and passing it on as yourself as a brand new idea, right?
Hmm.
And when
Yeah.
that does happen, those type of people tend to get caught pretty easily, pretty fast too, in our day and age. So like
Hmm.
yeah, I agree. You shouldn't like feel ashamed for having inspiration for on different type of styles that are out there that you like, because then you might breed a new style. You don't know what you might what that person's able to do.
Yeah.
Um
Yeah,
yeah, dude.
definitely.
Um I want to thank you for being on the podcast. Are these one-on-ones are tend to be 30 to 40 minutes. They kind of slow, they're kind of short, but I'd love for you to be on the podcast again so we can continue a part two if you'd like. Other than that, where can the people find you?
Ooh, socials. Um, my social media. I do have an FX page. I just haven't necessarily posted anything. I'm horrible at posting. I do things and I don't take pictures of them. I don't know why. I know I should. But
Definitely
I
should.
have, yeah, I know. I know you tell me that all the time.
Yeah, if you
Um,
guys go ahead, go ahead.
um, I have a page. It's Miss MISSKKAY_FX. That's where I have just a few photos. I just have to update the hell out of it. Um, but I also started. You know what? I have not showed you my sculptures. I started sculpting.
Awesome.
Um, yes. You're gonna kind of go nuts over it.
Yeah, let's see it.
So I have it right here. I have one of them here. Okay. So
Oh my God, that is fucking dope.
isn't he cute? Guess who
Oh
signed it?
man. Oh dude, is that one of the actors or the Oh my God?
It's two
It's
of the
two.
brothers. Yeah.
Who are they? Are these the guys that created it or
Yeah. Okay. So it's the Kyoto brothers. So of course, if anyone doesn't know who this little guy is, my favorite all-time, I'll say I don't care. Shitty movie,
uh
but it's such a great cult classic, Killer Clowns from Outer Space.
absolutely.
Yes. So that's my ultimate favorite shitty 80s horror movie. And I went to a convention to Monsterpalooza, and the brothers that they're, yeah, the three brothers that created this movie were gonna be there, so they were gonna be signing. So I made myself buckle down and sculpt this little clown that appears in the bathroom trying to eat Debbie.
Very
And
dope.
I know he looks so good. I'm so freaking proud of this.
You
Um,
should be. That is very dope, dude. Very dope.
yeah, he's pretty heavy. So he's a heavy guy, but this guy took me like I would say 3.5 weeks to make.
Nice.
Yeah, because I would
I
take breaks.
I really like the eyes, the detail in the eyes. It's really
Right?
cool. They
Hopefully
look
you could
like real
see
eyes. Yeah, dude. That's really cool. Oh man,
Yeah.
sorry,
Every
stream. You guys can't see this stuff, but hopefully I'll be able to fix this streaming
oh
setup.
shit.
But for my people on YouTube, once I put this video up, you'll be able to see this awesome sculpture. Um, yeah, be sure to check out her Instagram. It is awesome things like this, awesome makeup and special effects that you'll see on her page. Reach out to her and get her some jobs out there, man, because she's an awesome, talented artist. Look at this. What's this? Oh
So this is
shit,
a cotton candy cocoon.
that is dope.
Look at his little
I like,
face.
yeah, I like the little like bloody candy face. That is dope,
This is the straw that they drink out of. Dude, like I've been doing all of these and I have a lot more uh
dude. You need to
coming.
post these up,
I know. Again, I freaking suck at doing these or at posting them. So I had this little cauldron. These actually glow in the dark.
dude.
I know, they're so adorable. So this
Yeah,
is
get
what
on
I've
it,
been
dude.
kind of doing for most of my time.
Hell yeah.
Okay,
Um,
okay.
but yeah, thank you very much, Karen, for being on the podcast yet again. Want to thank everyone else for tuning in on the streams, on the YouTubes. Until next time, be good to one another. See you guys next time.
Until next
Bye.
time, bye.